And welcome back to the PHLY Sixers Watch Along with Derek Bodner. I'm Devon Givens. Brianna is producing as for the second time in about a month. A watch along with us presented by our great friends from Coors Light. So we're going to sit here with you all game long, watch the 76ers host the Miami Heat in South Philadelphia. The 7th seed Sixers hosting the 8th seed Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat versus Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. And we want to have some fun watching this one with you all. Yes, we're going to be having our drinks that we have here with us. Of course, the Coors Light throughout the show. After the show, hopefully talking about a victory party, some candy, some food throughout. Maybe we'll have some people pop in and give their thoughts as the game is going along. But the 76ers and the Heat split the season series, four games this season, 2-2, each team winning on both teams' home floor. So each team won on their own and also on the road. And this one here, let's see what the gang does because, boy, they need this one. Starting lineup for the Sixers: Embiid, Harris, Oubre, Maxey, and Lowry versus Butler, Hero, Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, and Bam Adebayo. So we are already underway. And with the shot clock winding down, Tobias Harris has to heave up something, and he makes it. Look at that, Tobias Harris. Good vibes, right, Derek?
Jimmy Butler over me.
Exactly. Good vibes. So let's have some fun with this one, folks, because it should be a good night for your basketball team. And if I'm really being truthful, like we told people last time on the watch along, I sit on the couch and have my foot up because of my Achilles. So if you see me take my shoe off and put my foot up, don't be alarmed. My socks are clean. I'm just resting my foot overall. So no worries. No worries. And you never know. We might get a sock sponsorship out of that if
or an orthopedic sponsorship,
maybe,
one of the two.
Maybe one of the two. So 6 is up 2-0.
I feel like given our age and unwillingness to accept our athletic decline, a medical sponsorship might be right in our wheelhouse.
Folks, you're just like us, aren't you? Well, we can't play the games by ourselves, so we have other people out there like us. So we're not alone in that. That's for sure. That's for sure. So there's that. But all right, so far Miami has missed both of their shots early. So the Sixers defense solid so far, where they've made them take some tough shots. Oof. Tyrese Maxey with a brick right there from the top. And, he got hit in the face. So let's hope that's nothing, but they can't make a shot right now. Maxey needs to gather himself. So as we look at this one, Martian Lynch in the chat says, only feet, Devon. Well, Maxey, they had to call a timeout because whatever happened to Maxey's face, he got popped in the face pretty good, and you hope it's nothing too serious. A lot of times, as Derek said, we're all weekend warriors, and we keep playing. Jimmy Butler got him pretty good, and it looks like the eye area. So hopefully he's cool, and he's able to continue to play, even if he has to come out for a minute, that his vision is not too impaired. But maybe if you get hit in your face, get hit in the nose, in the bridge of your nose area, sometimes, those tears pop up, man. Those tears pop up, and you don't know how to handle that. So let's see exactly what's up with Tyrese Maxey. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, just enough to call that early timeout for him to get looked at by the training staff on the sideline. Because as we talk so much about Terry Rozier since the news came down a little over 24 hours ago, we discussed how that is an advantage for the Philadelphia 76ers. But we certainly don't want to see things even up, where now Tyrese Maxey has to miss the remainder of this game. So let's see what happens once they do come back.
Yeah, it looks like he got hit in the right side of the face, maybe by an elbow from Jimmy going up for that rebound.
Going up for that. So it was an entry pass.
Oh, entry pass.
Going an entry pass, and Tyrese Maxey tried to jump with him, and Butler just inadvertently, it looked like, came down on his face. So after they missed their shot, the Sixers did get the rebound, call timeout to give them time to look at him. So again, hopefully nothing too serious. Martian Lynch already saying dirty, dirty, dirty in the chat. So I get it, but wasn't too dirty from what I saw. It wasn't too dirty for what I saw. But all right, man. I mean, if it's something to look at. Here's why it's something to look at, folks. And I don't want to alarm anybody, but it's something to look at in this case. Tyrese Maxey missed 4 games because of a concussion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why it's something to monitor.
Yeah.
Where he got hit in the face.
Again, it kind of, to me, and it's tough to see from that angle, it looked like it might be more like the jaw area. That's usually not something you associate with a concussion, but because he just had one so recently, yeah, you worry about that a lot.
Yeah. So that's, again, something that we're gonna pay attention to and hang out with us here with this watch along. Any tough shots for Miami so far. A couple of decent looks, but tough shots deeper into the shot clock. And they weren't all that close on their shots. Good defense so far, at least by the Sixers, to throw them off a little bit. But then you also had that tough one there. Tobias Harris didn't make it deep into the shot clock. Good defense by the Miami Heat. And then Tyrese Maxey missed badly from the top of the key.
Yeah.
On a shot that we've seen him make so many times.
Yeah. And a shot that was pretty open considering what he normally gets. I think both teams are sort of feeling each other out right now. At maybe a little early game jitters or just some shots that were off. And quite frankly, only been a couple minutes. So not what you were expecting, but really it's just all about Tyrese Maxey right now.
Yeah.
It's all about Tyrese.
Khalil Wilson, though, says, as I mentioned it, I felt it was inadvertent. He says, let's go Sixers. He'll be all right. He mad now. It wasn't inadvertent. It was playoff basketball.
I mean,
not on that one, Lil. That one looked like it was, maybe I have to see it again. Maybe you looked at the video a couple of times, and I'll check social media to see exactly how it looked. But, I mean, he caught it. His left arm was trying to disengage him, but I don't think to elbow him in the face.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's back on the floor. He looks fine.
He looks fine. He's back out there. All right. So let's run this offensive set and get a clean look right away. Boom. Easy.
Good movement by Kelly.
Yep.
I like that.
And you also give Kelly Oubre credit right away to recognizing who he had in both of them going right at him. Kelly Oubre going
credit
at
to Maxey. I think Miami wants to put a little size on him, make those passes a little bit tougher for him.
Mm-hmm.
So to make that pass, it's a good sign.
So Tobias Harris going for an offensive rebound, and it looks like he's called for an offensive foul. Is that an offensive foul?
Yeah, I didn't.
Where?
The one downside to doing this is we don't really have the sound too loud because we're doing a live show.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really see hear what they called.
That's what we have to rely on you in the chat to let us know exactly what they're saying, because how was that an offensive foul? I'll go back and look at the play-by-play, but that certainly did not look like an offensive foul where he's just simply jumping for the ball. I don't know. All right.
There you go, Kyle.
Alley-oop. Never mind. Never mind. But we like the attacking style. That's what he does. Continue to do it. Left hand, lucky. But Joel Embiid made him change the shot. Jovic with the first points for the Miami Heat. And Tobias Harris, that was a personal foul on Tobias Harris. How? How was that a foul?
I don't know. Again, always in the earliest parts of the game, he missed that shot. It was a good shot. It looked like it came off his fingers well. Does he take the next one? If he starts off 0 for 2, 1 for 4, does he keep shooting? Because that is a shot that we've been talking about now for 2 or 3 days straight. That shot is going to be there. If they keep making that pass to the corner, that shot will be there. You need Tobias to take it. You need Kelly to take it when it's open. You need Buddy. I don't think they're going to leave Buddy all that aggressively, but if they happen to, he needs to take that. They need to make that shot.
I agree with you 100%. 100%.
I don't know about the...
Kyle looked like he forced that one a little bit. He didn't have to shoot that one. It was early. Still enough time in the shot clock where he didn't have to. On that steal that Maxey had to get out there for that fast break layup, Kyle Lowry, good hands on Tyler Hero to strip that ball loose, allowing Maxey to get out there, run with Kelly Oubre, and finish over Jimmy Butler. So good defense from Kyle Lowry, and Jovic turns the ball over. So right now, just a little sloppiness, right?
3.5 minutes in, 4-2. Yeah, I think that classifies as sloppy.
Trying to feel it out, and just some sloppiness here from the Sixers. And while Maxey did get that one to go, he's now 1 for 3. Not alarming. He's 0 for 2 from 3, but he didn't really, he missed pretty badly with those. Wow. Yeah, What's happening here? We said 111 points. It might be 90. Might be 90 on that one. Right.
All right, so we've got,
We got some Tony Brothers hate. All right, so early on, we put it out there early on the PHLY Sixers Twitter account. And once we put it out there, a lot of people were upset that Tony Brothers was part of the officiating crew here tonight.
How could you not be? I'm not even like an anti-officials guy, and I was upset at that one. Yeah.
I didn't care. Whatever. It was like, whatever, man.
If Kyle was here, he'd be ranting up a storm.
Make the right calls.
You'd have a 20-minute rant about Tony Brothers' career.
Or Mr. Newbeck.
Yeah.
Kyle's dad.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. We saw where
we saw that firsthand.
Anti-ref bias came from. Yep.
All right, first foul for Bam Adebayo at the 7:51 mark.
Yeah. And again, that's something where he will play Joel tough. He will play him physical. He will bite on a pump fake every now and then. If you get him into foul trouble early, you can change the complexion of the game.
Yep, for sure. All right, so Embiid to the free throw line. By the way, folks, you guys have your snacks and your dinner and all that stuff too, because
Devon came
ours.
prepared.
We're ready, man. A bunch of just junk here. And you know, Derek asked me about my eating habits, like my snacks and stuff. My mom is a fantastic cook, and she's a great baker. So we always had a cake on the table in the house.
Okay.
Always. Every week. Sunday, she would make a cake. It was always available, man. Always. So, and with the sweets, well, we had a nice flow of stuff in the house there too. Yeah, we had a nice flow of junk in the house there too. So when Derek says I eat cakes and donuts and cookies
and he's a
candy,
big night eater too, which I swear I look at the sweets that Devon eats and I gain 5 pounds. It annoys me, quite frankly.
Yeah,
we don't need to get into that.
Gene says the mother-in-law made some fish and his aunt made some rice. So as a result, he's grubbing. I love it, Gene. Should have brought us the plate.
Oh, he was hunting
2
for that
fouls
one. He was
on
hunting
Bam
for that one.
Adebayo. He was hunting for that one.
You could see he wanted to put him in foul trouble.
He wanted that one. Does Spoelstra challenge that? You can't challenge that. You got to save yourself, though, a little bit, don't you? Was that a foul?
Oh, I don't care.
Well, I'm talking about for the Spoelstra side, Miami side. I'm just looking at the Miami side for that. They're just asking a question.
I mean, look,
we're objective.
Would we be complaining about it? Yeah, of course. Of course.
There you go. Do we have any Knicks? Do we have Knicks fans in the chat earlier?
I thought I saw some Knicks fans. They were definitely pre-game.
So we got to see some Knicks fans.
It's been a little bit of a struggle for me to follow along with the chat. So if you're in there, I apologize. I will do my best during commercials and whatnot.
I'm in there. I'm in there. Was that a foul, everybody? That's a foul for sure, Jay the Jungle says.
Our completely unbiased group of fans in the chat. I mean, it's probably like if it gets called, you understand it. But would we be complaining about it if Joel picked up a second foul?
And this is not we're not talking about how other opposing fans look at how Joel Embiid gets calls and stuff. He does foul hunt. He's good at it though. He knows how to exploit.
And just because he was looking for the foul doesn't mean it wasn't a foul. It just means he looked like he came down on that possession and said, I want to give that guy his second foul. Because
when he went by him and drove left baseline, he had him. That's the early cheap foul that we talk about with Joel Embiid. So now you gotta stay calm.
Especially with Jimmy though. And look, Jimmy,
and that's 25 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, and Kyle and I have been talking about it. Like Jimmy will raise his 3-point volume in the playoffs, pretty much double it. He's not going to shoot like 3 feet behind the line. He's not looking for that shot. He will take that shot if it's kicked out and it's open to him. You don't need to bite on a pump fake.
Not to mention in the corner, in the right corner, he stayed with him. He made him give the basketball up. Yeah, he made him. So don't bite on that one.
No, you don't need
that.
to.
No. Don't leave your feet. All right, apparently Doris on the second look said, play on. Okay.
For the most part, I'm a believer of play on, especially when you're talking about a star player or at least one of the 2 most important players on a team. Like, play on.
Yeah. Let me ask you this then, because we talk so much about Kyle Lowry and him being on his team, having to play however many minutes now that DeAnthony Melton is not here. He has a lot of playoff experience, certainly the championship experience. when we talk about Jimmy Butler saving himself, we're even asking Tyrese Maxey, Kyle did yesterday during media availability at practice, really saving himself. He missed about a month. He missed a month when he was traded to Charlotte until he signed with the Sixers. He didn't play for about a month and a week and some change. So his body should be pretty good. He has looked good since he's been in the Sixer uniform.
Sure.
How much do you believe that he might have something still left deep down in that tank where he can pull that out of the tank for a seventh game, as Nick Batum has called this essentially a game 7?
For a game, yeah. I worry a little bit if they do play,
New York or Boston.
20.
Sure, okay.
God help us more, breaking down and holding up throughout that entire time. But you're right. Like, a month off helps for sure. He wasn't playing a ton of minutes towards the end with Miami. He is still 38. You worry about that. Like, there just aren't that many players 38 playing, 25 plus minutes per night at this kind of intensity level. But he has, physically, he has looked better than I think I expected.
Okay.
So yeah, I think where you're really relying on him, especially now that Maxey is in the lineup and Embiid is back, you want him take and make his off-ball shots and give you another option against a matchup like this on Butler. It's really defensively and floor spacing. So if he is moved off ball and maybe expending a little bit less energy running the offense, maybe you have more confidence he will hold up. But he is a piece defensively for sure.
All right. And now with Bam Adebayo out, you have Kevin Love in there playing the 5. I brought up Thomas Bryant a little bit earlier, Derek. Take the shot, Joel. Stop messing around. That's where he gets himself in trouble. Foul hunting and not taking the first shot. He should have taken that first shot. Tyler Hero comes down and gets a pretty good look. That could have been a 5-point swing right there instead of just simply taking what was given to him and doing that. That play right there from Jimmy Butler reminded me of the Toronto Steel game 7 to force that overtime where he throws the ball ahead to catch up to it. But again, right there, a shot from Hero in the corner and a fast break opportunity while it was a miss. Sixers did get a miss and go down the floor, but had Embiid just taken what was given to him immediately, they would have been perfectly fine. So I did not like that from Joel Embiid there. I did not. Yeah. Look right here, Derek, on the replay. You see, you should have taken the first one, and this way he's not foul hunting, forcing it. They get down, and so I didn't like that. But Tyrese Maxey hits his second shot of his first made three-pointer of the night. Good defense, good help from Joel. Kevin Love, though, is the matchup. Backup, Thomas Bryant. They go Kevin Love. What are your thoughts on that? Smart, savvy. He knows how to, experienced, of course. He knows how to exploit these types of situations and not get himself in foul trouble. Yeah.
And look, he's still an incredible shooter. Oh.
They got to talk. And he's got to stop hanging on to the basketball.
It's 2 pick sixes for Jimmy in a span of 2 or 3 minutes.
Where you were up 7, 8, where you could have, now they're only up 4.
This is what we said pregame. In the half court, you should be able to shut Miami down. And so far, they have shut Miami down in the half court. But you can't give them those easy buckets in transition because they're not going to look to run off of makes. They're not going to look to run off of defensive rebounds. They're only really going to get out in transition if you give them turnovers. And 2 pick sixes in the span of 3 possessions like that, it's a real good way to get them back into the ball game. And that's, to your point, that's going to go in Joel Embiid's stat line. A lot of that is communication. Tobias has got to be yelling right there. Jimmy's coming. Jimmy's coming.
So does Tyrese.
Yep. Do you have a word for that when that happens in your league? We yell wolf. If you hear wolf, it means there's a guy coming over on your blind side.
Just backside. Just quick. Backside. And just make it known right there. Now he's got to go. Good sign.
Yeah.
That's 2 late shot clock makes from Tobias Harris, and that's good. But the thing is, again, with those 2 pick sixes like that, the Sixers, right now, look, it's the playoffs, so you can't say much about what the other team is doing.
Off his foot.
Got to protect the basketball. Every possession matters, man. Got to protect the basketball. These 2 teams are are like regular season 47-35 and 46-36. So
Yeah.
they're only a game apart. They were fighting for that 7th seed. This is evenly matched here, even with when Joel gives up certain things like this.
When they had, again, I'm going to go back to this because I wrote this earlier today, and it's a good chance to promote it, allphly.com. But when each team had their 2 respective stars on the court, Sixers 29-7, hat tip Ash Monroe. Heat 26-22. So when healthy, these teams were not all that evenly matched. Now, look, we can get into some qualifiers. A lot of those 36 games came during a soft portion of the schedule. We said before the season that second half, right after the All-Star break, was the toughest part of the schedule. So I don't think that winning percentage would have held up throughout the entire season. But, I mean, the Sixers had more wins than the Heat with all the stars available, despite the fact that we're talking about 12 fewer games.
Yeah.
They were a significantly better team when healthy, but a lot of it's going to come down to, like, are they ready to go in a playoff atmosphere after not playing together all that much over the last couple of months?
Yeah. So looking at the chat as you talk about it, a lot of people in there after that Embiid turnover. Pass the ball. Neil is saying, Joel, got to feel that coming. Casper, the ghost.
I mean, there is we got on the teammates, Maxey and Tobias, for not communicating. And I think what we said was true. There is a little bit of it's like being a quarterback. You know, there's a mental clock, like 3, 4, 5 seconds. All right, I got to get rid of the ball. He put the ball on the ground too many times against a tough defense that's going to look to take advantage of that. He should have known as well, but there absolutely should have been somebody yelling to get rid of the ball.
Absolutely. Whatever their word is, their communication needed to be there.
Yep.
He has to feel that, though, as well, because he's been around long enough. He's seen it. And also he knows who's on the other side. If he doesn't see him on the strong side with him,
yep,
he knows who's on that backside, and he knows how that guy plays as well, and Jimmy Butler. So he's got to be careful with that. So a lot of people frustrated with that, myself included. He's got to be quicker. They have to communicate better because they cannot afford those types. Miami can be down big like they were against the Sixers. They'll come back. Mm-hmm. They'll get back into it. So to have already, these 3 turnovers, Joel has 1 right now, technically has 1, but he's got to feel that. So 3 turnovers right now for the Sixers and 3 for the Miami Heat. Sixers need to make sure that they exploit these possessions and take care of the basketball because these possessions absolutely matter. So what are you seeing defensively so far from Miami with what they're doing?
Well, I mean, they're
in the half court set.
They're active, they're active moving. They've shown Joe to almost every time he touches the ball. But I think for the most part, there were things there. I thought the Sixers are a little bit stagnant right now. Part of that, I think, is Joe trying to get into a little bit of foul trouble or foul drawing mode. Part of that is that I just think they could move a little bit more off ball. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But they're also 2 for 7 from 3. And this is like the fact that they've gotten 7 threes up in the first 9 minutes of the game. I like. They haven't gone in yet, but keep shooting them.
Couple good looks.
I think they will.
Couple of good looks. So far, the Sixers are shooting from the field 6 for 15, 40%, 2 for 7 from 3. And as Derek said, just the 2 makes. But Miami is 0 for 5. Also have had some good looks. Nick Batum turns the ball over on the ATO, going the other way. Jimmy Butler gets that done. So a miss the other way, a cherry pick for Kyle Lowry.
Ooh.
And you could have also probably given him a foul there, didn't you? Was that a foul or a goaltend? Which one was it?
It has to be a goaltend.
All right, so only a goaltend. Tony Brothers is calling that one?
Well, judging by Kyle's reaction, I would guess yes. That being said, he landed on him. Like, that should be a foul.
That's a foul.
And that was a dangerous foul, too.
That's
like,
a foul.
Could get hurt doing that.
That's easily a foul. Miami shooting 40% right now with the 3 turnovers and still no makes. They're 0 for 6, Derek, from 3. So they're getting good looks.
Well,
they're getting good looks.
They're not going to miss. Kevin Love one was real good.
They're not going to miss all night long. They're gonna make one to get them back into it.
And this is all why one game playoff basketball I would be complete nerves as a fan because both teams right now are just sitting there going, man, if we just make some shots,
and get your foul calls when you're supposed to get the foul calls because, as Doris would say, on the second look, that's a foul. So come on, officials, got to call it right. Also, I was going to mention to you that the Sixers are doing a good job on the defensive glass, and not allowing offensive rebounds. Haywood Highsmith sneaks in there and gets an offensive rebound. He's at the free throw line right now. So, yeah. I'm going to dive into some candy, man. I think you know that. Oh, okay. Good job. Good job, Vinny. Ordering our stuff.
I will say, so Vince is getting us some pizza. He's like, text us when you want it. We texted him a little early because we're like, we'll have it at halftime, but Vince is a little slow on the pizza last time. So,
yeah. Good
job, Vince.
Yeah.
That was quick.
All right. Buddy Hield, Nick Batum, Paul Reed off the bench in the game right now with 2:20 to go. So Joel not playing, as you talk about the conditioning, not playing in the final game against Brooklyn. Maxey, it looks like he's going to play the entire first quarter.
A lot of zone right now.
A lot of zone.
And again, watch how those wings come up. If you swing the ball quickly, those passes to the corner will be there. Oof.
If you're going to do that, throw the lob at least. Don't allow it to be an open floor run for them to get that opportunity. A foul? Okay.
I have to put some headphones in so I can hear.
Joel back in the game. Five steals for Miami.
And again,
he's a live ball.
It feels like they have about 8 or 9 points off of those steals.
He's a live ball, man.
Oh,
there's another one.
Honestly, they've gotten lucky on the last 2 possessions, too.
Not protecting the ball, man. The zone, we talked about it. Joel can be taking a 3. Buddy Hield's got to take that. Another turnover, Derek. 7 now. They practice this. Come on. They're going to make one. There you go. They're going to make one. See, again, this is the problem, too, because as they struggle right now against the zone, Buddy Hield's got to get the ball to Joel. You can't be messing around like that. What is he doing? That's bad possession by the Sixers because Buddy Hield, we always talk about the entry passes. Buddy Hield got to make that pass. So bringing up this whole thing about the zone and the turnovers, should the Sixers win this game? Miami, yes, they are different. They are a little bit different than a lot of teams where their zone defense is crazy and it's phenomenal, right? This is going on film for other teams in these series, should they advance, where they're going to be playing against them and incorporate the zone.
Yeah. Well, again, like I mentioned in one of the preview shows, they don't play as much zone as I think most people think. Like, I think I saw a comment in one of our, and I forget if it was, I think it was on our Discord, where like, hey, you don't have to worry about that because Miami plays zone. Well, no, like Miami plays more zone than anyone in the league. That's true, but it's only on about 13% of their possessions. But what they will do, if they come out in a zone and you look like you're second guessing yourself or turning the ball over, or you miss a couple shots and all of a sudden the next one doesn't fly, they will keep on doing it and doing it and doing it. So it's like, it's a kind of thing that can snowball. And right now it is I mean, Kelly's been open for like 4 seconds now and nobody's passing him the ball. There is like, you've got to execute. The passes got to be crisp. The decisions have got to be crisp. And if you do that, you can't
do
let them
that.
run off and make.
Jimmy hurt his knee.
1.5 left. Unbelievable. Who didn't get back? My tablet's being...
Highsmith talking to Kelly Oubre. That one didn't look like it was dirty. It just looked like...
Yeah, see here, when Tyrese drives on this one, Kelly's got to go back. He's got to go back now.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
That Jimmy leak out was 100% on Kelly. On. And when Kevin Love's in the game, man, you can't be lazy on that. He's been doing that since UCLA. He is the best outlet passer I've ever seen.
Yeah. All right. Hope Jimmy Butler's all right because you can't have that. Kelly Oubre has to get back. So far, Kelly Oubre, playoff Oubre, leaving a little bit out there, a lot desired as we talk about him being the X factor in this one.
No, I think we can go out there and just grab it on our own.
We could ask one of them to bring it to us.
I mean, they are watching their own game and doing their own show. They're not as important as us. I understand.
They have commercials. They have commercials.
It's unsaid. It's unsaid.
They have commercials.
You're right. I'm just put me here for 3.5, 4 hours. I'm going to make a dumbass joke every now and then. It's baked in.
Alex says Ricky would have got back. Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean,
but
this is not an athletic thing. This is a recognition thing.
Yeah.
Kelly's got to know when Tyrese drives like that in the middle of his zone, he's got to get back. If he's on the wing, he's got to get back.
Looked like he landed on his ankle as he fell. So I don't know. Looked like he landed on his ankle.
Good on Kelly for hustling back when he was, after the initial mistake.
Yeah.
So a hustle was there. The recognition just was not.
Looked like his ankle. He's grabbing his knee.
Well, that doesn't look... he's staying in the game, but he is not moving all that well. No. That
Luckily, it's the end of the first.
Could be a little acting. We'll see, but...
Could be.
I think it's definitely bothering him.
Kelly Oubre is an X factor for all of us. He's got to play better than he did in the first quarter. 11 points. Sixers trail by 1, 23-22 after one. Poor shooting
they
on
were
both
up by
sides.
8 at one point.
Yeah, poor shooting on both sides for both teams. The big key here, as we've been talking about during the first quarter, 7 turnovers for the 76ers. Cannot happen.
Yeah.
Cannot happen. And too many of them live ball turnovers there.
100%. Those live balls are killing them. It feels a little bit like hockey where, you're on a power play and you're just passing up every good shot to try to get a great shot. At some point, you just got to put the puck on the net.
Yep.
That's about the limit of my hockey knowledge. But it feels like there's just a little bit too indecisive right now. And that's something where I would expect Nick to help them adjust as the game goes on. Certainly they have to. I don't think they're going to be able to turn the ball over 28 times over the course of a game and have a chance to win. Right now, if Miami was making their outside shots, this would be a tough spot for them to be in. I think they'd be down pretty big. I do think when it's been confined to a half court, at least over the first 6 or 7 minutes, I thought the Sixers were pretty thoroughly outplaying them. Miami threw that sort of curveball at them with the zone. Not that it's a curveball because you expect it, but now they have to react. They have to adjust. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the big part for me outside of the turnovers is Miami's not going to go 1 for 7, in each over their next 7 shots going forward. They're going to make some shots. So the Sixers need to protect the basketball, continue to defend well, not foul, and also try to find their shooting touch on the other end also. Leading in scoring is Jimmy Butler with 7 for Miami. Tyler Hero, even though he hasn't made a three-pointer yet, he does have 6 points. And for the Sixers, 7 for Maxey, 6 for Embiid. He was 1 for 4, 4 for 5 from the free throw line. But that one possession we did highlight on his 1 for 4 shooting.
Yep.
Pump faking too many times, man. Stop looking for the foul and just take the shot. 6 for Joel, 5 for Kyle Lowry, and 4 for Tobias Harris. That's your 22 points for the 76ers. Have to do better. Have to do better. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Wednesday as we have our second watch along of the season, our play-in tournament watch along presented by our great friends from Coors Light. Always presented by Coors Light. We always appreciate Coors Light for providing these great beers for us. And as always, when it comes to Coors Light, you got to choose chill. We all need to choose chill here. There's still 3 more quarters to go, and we'll see how things go. But when the mountain turns blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When it's time to chill, open a cold Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. That's how cold it is in the studio, probably, too. I'm the one that's going to complain about being cold.
I mean, Bree's got a full-on coat, it looks like. She's wrapped.
Yeah, I do have, my jacket in the back in case I get chilly.
I guess a single hoodie. I got some natural insulation that's protecting me here.
Me too. Me too. All right, let's see here.
Hopefully that is the worst quarter they will play today.
For sure. Embiid starts the quarter. Tyrese Maxey coming off the bench.
I will say, and look, Kelly has played better than Batum. I do wonder if maybe putting Batum in the starting lineup to make those passes, to make those quick shots, to make those entry passes, to try to beat the zone. I do wonder if with this matchup, it might have been a Nico game.
For the last few minutes, though, of that zone in the first quarter,
he was on the floor.
He was in the wing.
No, that's a fair point.
Now, Embiid was on the floor.
And to be honest, most of the time when Kelly was on the floor, I didn't think it was like he was the problem. In fact, I thought a lot of times he was in the corner. And if you had better ball movement, if you had better passing to force those rotations, he would have been the beneficiary of it. So that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
All right, so Embiid is on Jaquez, and of course the switch goes to Jimmy. Would you? He knows.
Second bad foul.
He knows.
Second bad foul.
Would you? This is what I'm asking. Would you have had him elsewhere? Now they would have still tried to get Embiid onto Jimmy Butler because that's just smart. But would you have? I mean, first of all, you got to let if he's going to make a 2-pointer, let him make the 2-pointer. Yeah. Don't send him to the free throw line and pick up your second cheap foul on that same player. So not good right there. Vinny said we can raise the temperature, but
I always prefer to be cold than hot anyway, so I'm fine. There's a reason I came in a hoodie tonight.
I mean, I have one on. It's just it's chilly in here. All right.
See, I'm big. Like in the winter, I will keep the heat off and I will just deal with it. But in the summer, man, once it gets above like 73 in my house, I'm like, oh no, that air's coming on. I save up my heating bill in the winter so in the summer I can spend it on air conditioning. Oh,
he telegraphed it too. He telegraphed it too. It's double. You can't double dribble. Come on. And that was Nick Batum, who was not afraid to make a pass.
I was just praising him for his passing, yes.
But he telegraphed it. And look who's roaming. Tobias also has to cut to make himself available.
He had a bad pass of possession before into traffic into Embiid. You need your good players to play well. No, actually, I'm sorry. I was a little bit ahead of you guys. That's a bad pass I was talking about.
That's a bad pass. Now he's going to take a 3 just because they've grabbed the momentum of this game. See? Neil Deaver says, I swear the basketball IQ is so bad. This is why they stay in this type of defense that they're in, because the Sixers are not doing anything to figure it out to force them out of this defense.
And Miami's not going to make it easy. Like, they're going to change up even their zone defense. They mix it up a lot. So if you are indecisive, you give them an opportunity to completely change it up.
That's the second missed three-pointer by Tobias Harris. This time, Derek, instead of it being bad, it was awful. He airballed it.
Yeah.
So to your point,
does he take the third attempt?
Does he take the third one?
Always my question.
Quick hook for Buddy Hield too, man. Buddy.
And that was an open 3 too. Like that, you've got to make that shot.
Yes. All right. The pace of this game is clearly in favor of the Miami Heat right now. And he's going to take one of those threes, Jimmy Butler is, because they're going to keep backing off of him since he's doing everything else, right? Doing all this stuff, the probing and to get into his spots.
That being said, that was a good possession. I thought Nico did a good job getting over the screen. That was a good switch that they called for. It's a benefit of having, even if neither of them are shutdown level defenders, that is a benefit of having 3 big wings.
Batum, Oubre, Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and go get him, Rick, but we don't expect to see him tonight.
Go get him, Rick. Might need some of that energy right now in the middle of the zone right there. He just barrel into somebody.
Look, we are very pro Ricky here, and I wouldn't be completely against it. But if we're being honest, in a game that right now is being defined by the Sixers' hesitation and lack of decision-making, I don't think he's going to put a rookie in there.
But he won't
Ricky
hesitate.
Doesn't hesitate. Yes, that's fair.
The decision-making might be bad.
I don't.
But the hesitation,
a rookie, I would be,
not be there.
Very surprised.
Nick Batum's hesitation wasn't there as a skilled vet, a seasoned vet. Turned the ball over 3 times already. Martian Lynn says, "Have we scored yet?" Told you he was going to take one.
They've got 2 points in the first.
Told you he was going to take one. Come on, man. Stop playing with the basketball. This is how we watch the game, guys. I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, there we go. They're going to put Love in there to try to pull him out of the paint, and he's got to attack him on the other end.
Just be smart. You got to back all the way out on that and get that steal. You can't let that. I'm at everything right now. I let DeLon Wright shoot that versus passing to Jaime Jaquez in the corner. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. No, he missed it, but still. Yeah, I'm complaining, folks. Yeah, go by him. Kyle gonna take a charge? Oh, you know he's scared with the ball. We're live. I'm just saying it. He's not proud to bring the basketball up.
Oh, don't get trapped there,
Don't
Toby.
get trapped. The line. This is not good for us. And he's got to make that pass to Batum.
Oh, at least they finally got it in there.
No, he's got to make that.
I mean the entry pass.
Does he look fatigued to you?
Yeah, he doesn't look great.
They're going to make some. Saying. Our guy Jamie hits us a lot up on Twitter. Jamie frets. Why is he in the game? 10 turnovers, man.
Is that it?
That's it.
You could have told me it was 15. I would have believed you.
Yeah, 10 turnovers. Not good. Not good. Kevin Love hits that trail 3, secondary break. 33-26. Then when this, I get angry watching the game because, like you guys said, where's the IQ? Sometimes it's just the IQ of just simple things of what's happening. Why is this? You can't let Kevin Love, even though it was like 32 feet away from the basket, you can't let him walk into a 3-pointer like that because you can make it. All right. All right. He have more urgency, hypothetical man. Well, hypothetical man, they've changed the game where it's at their pace. They're doing what they want to do now. They're dictating how this is going to go And the Sixers don't have a good response here. Alex says the fact that not down 15 is a miracle.
It really is. You turn the ball over 10 minutes in the first 16 minutes of a game, you should be getting smoked. On top of that, we talked about Miami struggling to shoot. Sixers now 2 for 11 from 3. You've got to do one of the two.
Good looks.
Yeah.
And they're missing them. And then you know what's going to happen there. And B's going to be on the perimeter as much as he can make 3-pointers. He's going to start taking those shots there because you know how it goes. Everybody in professional sports tries to overdo it, especially the stars, where you feel like my one shot is going to get us back to 7, that's 7 points right there. There's too much basketball left to be played. And then is this going to force Nick Nurse to keep those guys on the floor a little bit longer than they probably should be?
Yeah. I mean, look, everything that we said in the days before this about the blueprint for Miami winning this game, Jimmy getting the free throw line, what does he have, like 6 or 7 free throw attempts already?
Okay.
Turning the ball over so Miami gets easy transition points because they struggle in the half court. Sixers have 10 turnovers in the first 16 minutes, leading to a bunch of Miami transition points. Don't know exactly how many. I only have 6 screens in front of me. One of them doesn't have the points off turnovers, but a bunch.
13.
Miss open shots, start second-guessing yourself. Ball movement suffers, leads to more turnovers. Everything right now is following that blueprint. But Sixers come out, have a couple of possessions where they just swing the ball real well, make a couple open threes. It could change very quickly. But right now, everything, look, it's not, the game's nowhere near out of reach. Like, don't panic. But they have to play better. They absolutely have to play better.
13 points off of the 10 Sixers turnovers. 13. Sixers only have 2 points off the turnovers.
Yeah, you can't. That's how Miami stays in the game.
And that one right there is where he missed Embiid. And I'm glad J.J. Redick and Doris Burke are highlighting that because that's a possession where you miss and you see Embiid look at him like, yo, what are you doing?
But you get the ball to Embiid. You saw Tyrese Maxey wide open in the corner. Tyrese Maxey, one of the best catch-and-shoot corner three-point shooters on the planet. Even if it's not for a bucket for Embiid, get it in there, force a rotation, get it to your best shooters. They have struggled with that in a big way.
By the way, I forgot again. He'll do it.
Yeah, well,
he'll do it.
There, open corner 3 for Maxey. I'll take that. I'll live with that.
Yeah.
Process of it was a little hectic, but
I wanted to mention the 10 turnovers. The one that's also bad is you come out of an ATO and Nick Batum tosses up the ball and turned over the other way. Jimmy Butler in the game going the other way.
No, Batum's decision-making so far today has been mind-boggling. Just mind-boggling. He's one of those players that you've got to count on. Like,
yeah.
His athleticism's down, his scoring's down. He's not what he was 5 years ago, but you trust that the experience is going to offset some of that. He can't be the one making mistakes.
Here we go.
Get out. Go. Run. Props to Miami for getting back there.
Yep.
Feels like something the Sixers wouldn't have done so far tonight.
Play big, man.
Oh, my God, Tobias, come on.
Play big. They're going to make this 3-pointer. That's all.
We need to put a mic for Bree because she is having a... She did not appreciate that, Tobias.
Not at all. All right, we talked about somebody taking some initiative. Kelly will do it. Paul Reed will do it. Does that mean it's good?
Oh, boy.
So they didn't have that before. Now with Embiid out number 1, Bam coming back in.
Oh, my God. What was it? It was like 22 to
23,
18, 22. No, but like before that, I think Miami went on a run. I think Miami's on like a...
It was a 25-10
like
run.
17 to 4 run or something like
25 to 10 run. And now it's even worse because they've scored more. Goodness gracious. 2 for 15 in this frame alone. and you give up a 3, man. I don't care that he missed it. You can't give up a 3 and then have that little dude in the line right get the offensive rebound. What are you doing? This can't end well.
Nice feed.
All right.
Oh, look, he missed 18 layups in a row, but that was a nice dish. I have no idea how this is only a 7-point game. They are really lucky right now.
Because Miami is missing Terry Rozier. If they had their full team and made a few shots, that's how. Oh, man.
What do we got here? We got Sixers are 2 of 14, and Miami is 2 of 13 from 3. Wonderful. Luckily, the only reason the Sixers are even remotely in this game is because they are at least crashing the offensive glass. Not something they are necessarily known for, but it is giving them a chance. Now, most of those were Tobias Harris, Moses Malone-esque, get your own offensive rebound and miss another shot layups.
How many does he have?
He has 5 offensive rebounds.
How many on that one possession? 3?
I think 3, yeah. And 0 points.
And then the one earlier, he missed that layup and got an offensive rebound and missed that one too, yeah.
I think 4 of the 5 might be on his own misses.
On his own
fine.
misses, yeah.
Well, it's not fine.
Yeah, if you're going to do it like Moses, you got to do it like Moses.
He made them. Yep.
Help win the game and make those. Moses he missed them on purpose. Come on.
What is the actual difference on second chance points? I bet you it's not that much.
I got you. Right now, second chance points. I don't have you. Fast break points, second chance points.
Yeah, ESPN doesn't put second chance points on there.
No.
I don't know why.
And
I prefer the ESPN box. So
let me log into the other one.
Oh, where are we at? Second chance points, yeah. Only a 5-3. So Sixers have 9 offensive rebounds.
And only 3
and
points?
No, 5.
5. I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Whereas Miami has 3 offensive rebounds and is only 2 points back.
Man. Frustrating.
So how's that Phillies game going?
See if they want to switch.
Yeah. Jamie was joking like, oh, man, rather than doing our show, I'm going to come over and join your guys. Well, maybe I'll join your show. I don't know.
All right. You got any in the chat while I'm looking up some of this other stuff?
What's up?
Super chat? I mean, not super chat, just people in the chat. Anything interesting in there?
Yeah, they're all pissed off at Toby. Also, they're arguing somebody, but I can't really tell. I don't know why. I must be missing some messages here in my chat. Must be a bug with YouTube. I'll go contact them. I can't believe some of these turnovers. I'm gonna go back and rewatch these tonight. And it's gonna be like, what in the hell happened? Like,
that's gonna be That's gonna be your article. Just turnovers, breaking them all of them down. Hmm.
Four steals already for Jimmy.
Maxey has 3 turnovers, 2 each from Embiid,
and that's
Lowry,
what's so weird about
Batum.
some of these. Like Tyrese, in terms of high volume guards,
Yep.
Tyrese is as low turnover as you're going to get. And he's just making some inexplicable, inexcusable passes. Same with Batum, who's really on this team to make that entry pass, to swing the ball when the defense rotates. And they're just not ready for a Miami zone that is completely like everyone knew Miami was going to bring out the zone. Lowry taking a 27-footer at the end of a clock.
Yeah.
You've got to get something better than that.
Yep.
It wasn't a turnover, so I guess in terms of what the Sixers have done, that's a pretty high-value possession, but it's not high enough.
And DeLon Wright making corner threes. There you go. Runner.
I'd like Paul to be a little more aggressive on that, but then again, he's gotten bit by a couple of backdoor lobs, so you get it. half court defense has still been fine. I'm comfortable with what they're doing defensively. They've just got to keep them confined to a half court and get some kind of decent look out of it.
All right. Who's in the middle of this zone here?
Nobody.
Paul says, I'll go baseline. We said he's not scared.
No, but he tried that earlier in the quarter and
didn't work,
had a bad turnover.
They're going to start falling.
There you
That's
go,
where the
Kyle.
veteran has got to, take it into his own hands a little bit. So, like when people say, oh, Devon's watching the game just like me and all that, I just don't like stupid basketball when I see it being played that way. And I've seen too many silly things where it has led to as many turnovers as they have right here. And that's the thing. So I just don't like bad basketball, especially in a spot like this. This is like Nick Batum said yesterday at practice. This is essentially a game 7. You have to be smarter with the basketball. You just do. And they have.
I will say, and like I said, I worry about everything, so I think it'll probably come off as me being a downer. But I actually I'm interested to see now. We've spoken all year about Tyrese Maxey figuring things out and having a big second quarter or a big second half or a big fourth quarter. All right, this is as bad as he's played in a long time. How does he respond? I want to see that not only for this game, not only for this playoff run, but for what that means for his future. I'm confident in Tyrese Maxey playing much better in the second half. Now, he did have one of his worst games of the season against Miami earlier in the year, 4 for 20 on Christmas Day. But he had 3 monster games there towards the end. Like I said, this was as bad as we've seen him play in a long time.
Yeah.
All right, what do you do in the second half? What do you do down the stretch in the fourth quarter?
They're down 6 right now, 3:30 to play. Nick Nurse is challenging a call of Heat basketball when it looks like they believe in went off of Jaime Jaquez. They haven't made a run since the early part of the game. A little bit of a run there to cut that initial lead that Miami had to get back into it, but haven't had it's time for them to again make another run. Where do you believe they need to be in terms of staying within a number going into half if they are trailing?
I don't necessarily know if there needs to be a number, but the process has to be much better. Like they have to feel like they can execute against the zone. They have to feel confident that they can counter what Miami is doing. So if, let's say, they come out here and they move the ball well and they're decisive and a couple of shots don't go in, I'm not too worried about the number. There's enough game to come back.
Okay.
But if they come out and they're second guessing everything, if it just looks like they have no answer for that zone, that's when I would get concerned. Even if maybe Miami goes in a shooting slump and they're still only down 6, it's really how they look executing and how they look picking apart what Miami is doing that I'm more concerned with. Like there's another Kyle Lowry 27-footer at the end of a clock.
And it's not his fault.
That's 2 of them in the last 4 possessions.
Yep.
And this is during one of their runs. Good question here from MBD. What's the record for airball 3s in a half? They have to be getting close. That's what, 4?
Yeah. Things are not going their way. Look, the ball goes off with Bam Adebayo in the pass on his face. They get the ball back, and then a tip in from Bam Adebayo when they had no business getting that offensive rebound. This is clearly Miami's half. Sixers have to be better. And as soon as you say that, Derek, about them being, not being stagnant, being smart, they hoist up
They've got 4 defenders on a strong side of his zone. All right, and they finally got it to the weak side corner.
Right.
Good.
Yeah, where that spot has been open for a good part of the night.
All game. They just don't move the ball quickly enough and decisively enough to take advantage of it. And even there, I didn't necessarily think that was the crispest offensive possession in the world, but they finally got it to the right spot.
He knew he was going to shoot a 3, setting them up, right? And who wanted it more? Caleb Martin. And now Kyle Lowry is ticked off because they get an offensive rebound. That was on Tyrese Maxey, by the way. Didn't put a body on Caleb Martin and DeLon Wright. We know he's a good point guard. We were talking about him as backup here. Not known as a shooter, though. And he's knocked down 2 here in this quarter to extend that lead. Nick Batum. Joel picks up his 3rd foul.
Nah, out of bounds Miami.
Their anticipation has been great. See, this is what I mean. Look, this sometimes it's not your night, and plays like that add up. 2 breakaways for Jimmy Butler. That's 4 points right there. That's a 3. They're going to start making them. So I said, what kind of number you want to stay in? Just simple.
Well,
stay
look,
in single digits now.
If it gets to like 15 or 20, then yeah, that's the number I'm worried about.
Stay in single digits now.
Oh, come on. He's wide open in the corner.
That could have messed up his rhythm because he never made the first pass.
And Tobias has to make that pass. Like, that pass was there right from the jump.
They're going to start to make them. I told you they're going to start to make them. Going to start to make them.
I feel like Miami hasn't played against a set defense in like a quarter and a half.
They have not. They're scrambling with their zones and throwing things all over the place. 1-2, 1-3-1, 2-2-3, as you said. And they'll live with Nick Batum taking corner threes if that's all they're giving up. Because what's the percentage chance that he's going to make them?
Well, Batum making them, I'm fine with. The problem is when you don't make them, then that's another leak out, especially if you don't get back.
No, but I'm saying, what's the percentage chance of it is going in where they don't get the rebound and go the other way?
Batum in the corner, I'm pretty okay with. I'm pretty okay with Batum. But when you miss it, you've got to get back because they are going to run. Long rebounds, you've got to get your weak side wing defender back, and they just haven't been doing it.
First time in a long time they get a good entry pass.
They're down 14.
I don't like it. I don't like the way this is headed.
Oh, I'm going to have to get up and get a slice of pizza and a little bit of chill.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that at halftime. Choose chill, everybody. Our watch along presented by Coors Light, our good friends from Coors Light. When things are not going your way, as we talked about it, got to go with the mountains turning blue and choosing chill. Got to rise above it all, folks. Choose chill. So free throws, you got to make them.
Jamie Fretz. By the way, shout out. Always on Twitter. We appreciate you.
Always hitting us up on Twitter.
4 years of Maxi's career, I've never gotten mad at him. I'm mad at him. He's saying now. Yeah, he's been bad.
Presidential Mike says, does Tyrese Maxey have a concussion? Was hit in the face. Are they in the bonus? That's the third team foul. Okay.
What a garbage ass half. What a garbage ass.
Dev Miliano says, I got to go to work after this BS. Sorry, man. Dev. Going right at Maxey. Like you said, they're going to try to find that. Going right at Maxey.
Points off turnovers. Miami 17, Sixers 2. 2.
You need a bucket here. 2, 3 free throws. You need points. What the heck was that? He's rushing. Now he's rushing. So, folks, if you didn't hear, Bree said, is he good? He's rushing. He's rushing. This is what we talked about. We thought, and Aaron says, Embiid can't jump. He's right there, Aaron. Aaron. He's right at the rim. Derek, we've seen him miss 3 of those tonight. It's the defense of him rushing the basketball. We've seen him already come back from these games and unable to jump.
Best player on the floor in the first half for the Sixers. Go.
Kyle Lowry.
And he airballed 2 threes.
And it wasn't his fault, right? Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who it would be. It might be Paul Reed. And he had a pretty bad turnover. There's been nobody that's good. And that was really the point I was getting at. There's been nobody that played well.
If I had to answer, I would say Kyle Lowry. You say Paul Reed. That's not good.
You're not winning a game with Kyle Lowry and Paul Reed, not against Miami Heat.
No, not when your stars are not doing what they're supposed to do for the others to have to beat you. It's not like Embiid went off for his 12 in the first quarter, or he's having this great stretch here, or even Maxey. No, this is because they have to do this. Paul Reed getting his, Kyle Lowry getting his. They have to make the plays that they're making in order for this to go out that way. So, all right, folks. Talk to us in the chat. What are you thinking? What are your concerns right now at the half? Obviously, we've highlighted the turnovers. You can go get the pizza.
You got this for a minute?
I got it for a minute because I'm just going to talk to the people for a second and ask, what is this is the dream of Evan and Chan says we're getting swept by Boston. you might lose to Atlanta or Chicago. So you might want to rephrase that. All right, if you're watching here and we're asking everybody, and we appreciate you hanging out with us, breaking up your usual viewing experience of how you watch the game. If I have to ask you right now, down by 12 at the half right now, outside of turnovers, that's obvious. And I know we're going to get a lot of Embiid and Maxey, so sure, bring it if that's what your answer is. But what's the biggest turning point right now as to why they are down the way that they are at halftime, 51-39. Miami still shooting 42% from the floor, but the Sixers are much, much worse, shooting 32.6% from the floor right now, 3 for 18 from three. We mentioned the 11 turnovers. On the glass, they have 9 offensive rebounds, 26 boards, 9 offensive rebounds. Miami only has 21 boards, but guess what? They've snuck in and got 6 rebounds on the offensive glass and giving themselves some opportunities. Miami, as far as turnovers go, when we look at the Sixers 11, Miami has 6 turnovers right now. So for you again, what's the reason they are down the way that they are right now? Check in with us. Hit us up in the chat. Let us know. Points in the paint, 24-18, Miami. How? How does that happen? 24-18 points in the paint with the big fella down there, supposed to make things a little bit easier, protecting the paint. Fast break points, Miami 11-6. Turnovers, as we mentioned, 12-6. Points off of turnovers, we said it already, 17-2 in favor of the Miami Heat. We know that's the game right there so far through 24 minutes of play. What's the biggest reason right now for you? Nick Nurse says Jamie frets. It's okay to laugh. Lowry isn't a starter. Aaron, just attitude alone. Unbelievable right now. I can't believe this is happening. Khalil Wilson says the moment, the timing, and I know I'm catching up on a lot of these, so I might be missing maybe where things are coming from, and I might be missing the very start of why you're saying what you're saying, but just trying to throw these on the fly as to why this is happening the way that it is. Defense hasn't been good, says Gene. Keep giving up wide open threes. At one point, Miami started off, 0 for 6? And right now, Miami, as far as three-pointers go, there's 6 for 20, but that's 3 more. Well, first of all, I think the Sixers were at one point 2 for 7, while Miami was 0 for 6. So the Sixers have only made 1 since then, where Miami has made 6. Come on. I said it. As we were watching, in the moment, they were getting those open looks. They're going to start falling, and they have certainly started falling for the Miami Heat. Everything is in favor of the Heat right now. Obviously, points because they are leading, forcing turnovers, made 3-pointers at the moment. The Sixers need to tighten up, and Nick Nurse needs to figure something out with that zone, because that defense, the way that they've been scrambling things, has been a problem for the 76ers. Joel Embiid needs to slow down as the game is going on, because he's just rushing. He's rushing right now, and you can see it when he's getting close to the basket. He may not be able to jump, and his knee may be a problem, but he's going to have to muster up something with that touch that we know that he has to finish when he's somewhere between 6 and the cup right there, 6 feet in the cup right there, 6 feet and in. He's got to make those shots. When they're finding a way to get him in the basketball, he has to be under control, not rushing, and have that soft touch and finishing there at the rim. Bottom line, he's in there, he's playing. The knee cannot be an excuse right now for him out there on the floor. Cannot be an excuse. Heck, we saw the videos today from all the people who got an invitation to be part of the 12-man roster for Team USA, where they're going to be playing in the Summer Olympics 2024. Joel Embiid is one of them. And while things may slow down when we get to July and August and some moves may be made during free agency and maybe even some trades there as well, maybe. But no one, there's going to be a lot of frustrated people if the knee right now is a problem for Joel Embiid in this moment where we're mentioning many saying he can't jump. Well, that's going to be a big problem also in the Olympics, where Philadelphia 76er fans, yes, it's for the gold medal, yes, it's for your country, but man, people are not going to care about anything like that. We got a super chat. All right, let's get to Corey here in the super chat. Corey says, no Brett Brown, Ben Simmons, James Harden, or Doc Rivers to blame. Maybe we can blame B-Ball Paul. Hashtag wake up Joel. Thank you, Corey. Early on, it looked like when the Sixers got up early and went up by 8, ball was moving right. Joel looked fine, even though he was 1 for 4. He got to the free throw line. He got Bam Adebayo in trouble, and they did not take advantage of that. Kevin Love came in and made a couple of good plays. The outlet play at the end of the first quarter to Jimmy Butler, where he was fouled by Kelly Oubre. Kevin Love extending the defense, making shots, right? Making that long three-pointer to put them up by 7 points. So, Corey, you're right. This is not on Simmons, Brown, Harden, or Doc Rivers. This is on Joel Embiid right now as the leader of this team. He's out there. The knee cannot be an issue right now or an excuse as to why he's not playing up to the level that he needs to be playing at the moment. Again, Lowry is not a starter. It's okay to laugh pointing that out. Yeah, but you know what? The DeAnthony Melton thing, the injury there, it's okay to laugh. We're not laughing right now, but it's okay to laugh. You're absolutely right. Lowry isn't a starter. He may not be. But because of the DeAnthony Melton injury at the moment where you have no idea when he's going to be able to play, and I'm just going to throw it out there and venture to say that he's not playing in the postseason unless they make a deep run to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. I don't think he's going to be able to get out there and play. Just my opinion. That's just my thought. Then when you put Buddy Hield in the game, let me see how many minutes Buddy Hield had in this one. Buddy Hield came off the bench and played 4 minutes, 8 seconds, had 1 assist, 1 turnover. Did not make the other pass where he needed to. He missed 2 threes. One of the threes, the first one that he missed, he should have made the entry pass to Joel Embiid. Did not make that entry pass to Joel Embiid. He was forced to take a late shot clock three-pointer, and that's not what you need right there. Let the big fella get the ball. If they double team there, he might get a much better look at a three-pointer. So when you mention it's okay to laugh that Lowry isn't a starter, well, you tried to put Buddy Hield, your other guard, in the game, and guess what? He didn't make his shots. He turned the basketball over, and then he also didn't make the necessary pass that he should have to Joel Embiid when he had an opportunity to on that strong side when he was there posting up. Have to make those passes. So who else are you going to go to? You're going to start Nick Batum over him and have Kelly Oubre and Tyrese Maxey in the backcourt?
And Nick was awful.
And Nick was awful. So what are you going to do there? Campaign maybe should have saw some minutes because of the fact that you didn't have anybody else that could maybe break that zone with his speed and his passing. So maybe that might be a wrinkle here in the second half, Derek, that you see there. First of all, Joel Embiid playing better, Tyrese Maxey playing better, but giving some relief to Kyle Lowry because you might need some more ball handling and shooting out there too, especially if Buddy Hield's not going to make shots.
Yeah.
You're down 12. Everything went wrong.
So I walked in the middle. Are you talking about bringing Campaign in?
So, no.
That's the only
point
ball handler and
was,
shooting you really have.
the point was that Kyle Lowry should not be a starter. My point was DeAnthony Melton is out. So by default, he's in the starting lineup. Number two, Buddy Hield gets 5 minutes. He plays terribly. And you don't have anyone else to go to. So how is Kyle Lowry not the starter? So I'm saying he's in there by default. That being said,
I think he's also in there because I think Nick trusts him to defend Jimmy in the half court.
Yeah.
Look, maybe I can certainly see that, but I think that's letting the players off the hook a little bit. Like, they have players out there that should be able to beat the zone. You've got Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid and Nick Batum all playing seemingly at their worst level. These are three of your keys to beating this kind of a team. Would bringing Batum in over Lowry help? Maybe, but it's hard for me to really point to that as a solution when Batum played maybe his worst half of basketball in 3 months. I don't know.
Then
you
you
need some
talk
pizza
about,
or wings?
I do.
Because that's like the only thing that's going to cheer me up right now.
Hangry?
Yes.
Yeah. Because when you look at this thing and you talk about taking Kyle Lowry out and maybe putting Nick Batum in, but again, you're losing an extra ball handler.
Yeah.
You just are.
And I mean, look, with the way Buddy played, I like an idiot. I took the over on 2.5 threes. Big Buddy night. Oh, I might have missed on that one. He was
not
awful.
your fault. It's not your fault. It's his fault. Goodness gracious. Yeah, folks, this one is frustrating. So why is Campaign not getting minutes? Well, he's deep in the playoff rotation right now, Cal. Calvin is asking that question. We appreciate it. But, I mean, at some point it looked like, all right, call his number just to see if you can get something going and get a little spark there, something going. I don't want to – look, as much as I want to see them play basketball and playoff basketball, I don't want to be here on Friday night trying to play for an 8 seed in the Boston Celtics. I want to see them playing right now for an opportunity to play the New York Knicks. They're going to have to do a whole lot of something here in the second half to turn this thing around and get back into this game. Now, they're only down 12. They shot under 40%. They shot under 40% in the first half. They better not shoot that poorly again in the second half.
Again, the missed shots, I think, were some of their best offense of the night. It's when they were turning the ball over and giving them a pick six that I really pulled my hair out. Not that I have all that much left.
You do.
Look, if they get to the point where like we're complaining about missed shots, I will be happy because at least that meant they stopped barfing all over themselves every trip down the floor.
Got to do better. All right. Outside of the turnovers, Derek, what do you need to see here in the second half?
I love it. There are 230 people watching me eat a pizza.
Love you guys.
It's very weird.
Love you guys. Thank you, X-Man. The Devon Cam has played well in the postseason with the Suns. Yes, he did. And Cam is more reliable right now than Hield. Yes, X-Man. I talked about him before, what he did in the postseason in the past. Can we see that here?
Look, I said before the show that on the outset of this game, I thought Payne would be out of the rotation, but depending on how it went, maybe you change that up and bring another ball handler, another shooter, whatnot.
We said situationally.
Situationally, yes. Situationally, I think you give him a shot.
Situationally,
because when you were talking about that, like I said, when I walked in midway through, because I was bringing in our pizza and beer,
Mm-hmm.
which is the only thing that's going to get me through the second half of
Thank you,
basketball.
Coors Light and Vince, for the pizza.
I thought you were talking about that just because I thought that was like a viable, at least, curveball, something to try. But yeah, throw him out there. He can't be worse than everything that happened in that first half.
All right, folks, I've been to the lot. Let me eat some pizza now. Thank you. Bree, get your pizza too. Also, Derek, I point out with Embiid, if his knee is bothering him and people point out he can't jump, he's out there. There's no excuse now. You're out there.
He can still make a 3-foot layup.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The knee's
5
not
for
making him
19.
dribble for 6 seconds while a double team's coming his way.
5 for 19 versus the zone. 8 turnovers, 1 for 10 from 3. According to the ESPN stats. Gishmeister, where's the pizza from? I don't think we're allowed to say, but we thank them.
Yeah, they gave us a good pizza. They did not give us any money to promote it.
So a foul right out of the gate, 12 seconds in. And with that foul on Tobias Harris running over Bam Adebayo, they're now checking to see if it's a flagrant. Why was he going that direction, though? Look, that's not going over.
It was a bad route. He didn't. Shocker, Tobias Harris did not have his periphery vision locked in. He was
And as much as we have praised him for his defense, I don't really want him chasing Tyler Hero around.
Yeah.
I don't know about that defensive strategy. That's a regular foul. Common foul?
Yeah, I didn't think that would be a...
My man, Mr. Jim, getting some TV time. One of the head security guys at the arena, Mr. Jim.
See those mountains?
Mm-hmm.
Had to go to the fridge.
Need to.
So we've got the ones out here. They might be a little bit of props. I'm not drinking that. Going to the fridge, getting the cold one, covering up the mountain. You can't see it anywhere.
Actually, Bree did have those in the fridge.
Oh. Well, that's because Bree's awesome, and I just assumed that. My bad. My bad.
So Tobias Harris, in 24 seconds, commits a foul where he goes over the top, took a bad route, then comes down in the fast break opportunity where they get a rebound, steps out of bounds on the push-off, trying to drive baseline. Great start. And then Tyler Hero is open in the corner. See, he's going to start shooting threes. I told you. That was too early on that secondary break.
It's not far enough back. You just want to...
No, that's good.
We're back a couple seconds.
That's good. Somebody call Embiid Dak Prescott, presidential Mike. Man, we lost a few people. I guess the game came back. They said, all right, let's go back to the game.
We started eating.
Fair. All right, Kelly Oubre attacking the basket. Okay. Little sign there. Good. That kid's pretty good. You mentioned him earlier. Terrible.
It was bad, but he made a good pass to Kelly on the baseline earlier. And then Kelly found Tobias at the top of the key, and it was just off target. And that just wasted a lot of time off that clock.
But on that one, he got it back about 8 on the
He
shot
did,
clock.
and-
I
but-
thought he could have at least given it to somebody else, let them.
Sure.
Yeah.
But because he made that really nice pass, because that led to an open shot, the original sin there was, I think, Kelly's off-target pass to Tobias.
Was that Lowry or Oubre? I thought it was Lowry.
There you go. The old Who You Be Brown. There you go.
They need a run, man. I need this by the end of the third quarter to be under 5 going into the fourth.
Got that switch.
Mm-hmm.
Glad they didn't give Jimmy that foul call.
I agree. He just has nothing to his offense. Look, he just has nothing. Mm. Probably not going to score 90, Presidential Mike said.
Not at this pace.
Not at all.
I will take the over on 90 just because at some point a shot has to go in, and at some they can't move the ball. I mean, I think the ball movement's been better here in the third quarter, but it has been discouraging all night for sure. Three for 20 from 3. Are you kidding me?
They just crashed the glass, even though Jovic didn't get that.
Yeah.
It's the It's Embiid's third or fourth.
He had 3. Yeah, so that's 4. Oh my God. Well, he certainly sapped the life out of this one, didn't they?
Sure did. Sure did.
Just 2 hours ago, I was talking about how exciting playoff basketball is. What an idiot.
So, Random Eric says, Mopey Joe is back.
Yeah.
Body language changing?
Body language, and he looks tired.
Yeah.
He's looked tired a good chunk of the night. Again, that's why I was a little disappointed in playing the final game. That I thought if there was nothing to be concerned about, they would have probably played him just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He does get out of, I won't say out of shape, but certainly like he's a very rhythm basketball player. And I don't know if this is like what percentage of this is being out of rhythm. What I would say a large portion of it is Miami and what they're doing. But yeah, he's certainly been a little bit mopey, but he also tends to look mopey when he's tired too. So.
Marshall Lynch says this is a toxic relationship, Derek.
Been very one-sided for the last couple of years. I get it.
Doe Gaming says Kelly Oubre the X Factor. Laughing emoji.
Well, X Factor doesn't mean he's going to be great. It means that he is sort of like the swing player.
Yes.
He is the one that the direction of the game depends on.
Yes. So Doe Gaming, laughing emoji, sure. But the way Maxey and Embiid are playing and not living up to the expectation that we have for them going into this game, you needed potentially that third guy to do something. He's a swing player. That's the swing right there. He has not been good either. And had he been, if he was playing much better, this game would be a little bit closer. It wouldn't certainly be tied, or maybe the Sixers wouldn't be leading, but 59-48 wouldn't be the lead right now. I would say if Kelly Oubre right now sitting here as the swing type of player, as the X factor, is instead of 1 for 7, 3 for 7, or maybe got to the free throw line once for 2 free throws, we're talking 6 points right there, where this is possibly a 59-54 game.
Yeah.
And one of them being right there. You sure he attacked the glass? He has 3 offensive rebounds, and he's tied for the lead on the team with Harris and Embiid for 8 as far as boards go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, swing player.
And look, Kelly hasn't
X-factor.
been good in this game at all. And again, when I go to Kelly, whether I'm praising him or criticizing him, it's very rarely the shooting. Shooting helps. That's great. The 1 for 6 isn't going to be my concern. It's when, I mean, you saw me react to it live, when he doesn't get back in transition, when he doesn't make that extra pass. Those are the things that I notice and key on with Kelly a lot more than whether or not the shot goes in. And yeah, some of the layups that he missed would have been great to go in, maybe draw a foul or whatnot. You can salvage a couple points, make this a much closer game than it currently is. But I don't think the process with Kelly has been great either. That being said, he's far from their biggest problem. Like, if you're going to get these kind of games from Embiid and Maxey, you're going to have a very, very, very tough time winning this game. So Kelly's an X factor because he can swing a game in either direction. And again, the either direction there is part of the definition.
Yep.
But he's not the reason.
Right. So Embiid is still in the game with his 4 fouls right now. Still in there.
Hey, you got chicken.
Get chicken
Yippee.
tomorrow. Bricking? You getting the bricking for chicken, Bree? All right. You earned it because you had to watch this.
Shoot it. Thank you.
That could be something. You get 2 missed free throws. That's a 5-point swing right there.
And again, I just like the fact that he took the freaking shot and didn't hesitate, second guess, waste some more time on the clock. The thing with hesitation isn't just passing up the shot. It's running down the shot clock. When that shot clock gets, and when you go back and really study it, the shooting percentage in the last 5 seconds of a shot clock falls off of a cliff. Like, you're talking like a 25% shot. You run that clock out, you give the other team a 6th defender. That's where indecision really, really kills you. You turn off you turn away a solid shot for a disastrous shot all too often.
5-0 run there by the Sixers after they need a run.
Yeah.
And this needs to extend. They need more than that. Now the building is alive again in the timeout. Smart timeout by Eric Spoelstra to not allow this thing to unravel even more.
This is why their offensive decision-making has been so frustrating, because they've played pretty good defense for most of the night. They've played good enough defense to win this game. Miami shooting 41% from the field, 32% from 3-point range. They have 9 turnovers of their own.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't killed you. They had moments where they've killed you on the offensive glass, but overall, there haven't been all that many. Sixers have done enough defensively in the half court where they have a chance to win this game. Making shots, yes, they have to do that too, but they have to make good decisions with the ball. You're finally starting to see that a little bit. It's going to lead to better offense. It's going to lead to fewer transition points from the Heat. And I just think, and you get this into a half court game and stop giving them the freaking free pick sixes, you still have a chance to win this.
And can you let everybody know, in the event, let's just, stay positive, all that. But in the event that they did lose this game, because we did talk about winning, playing New York, losing, having to play Chicago or Atlanta, and just moving on right away to playing Boston, that would be Friday. And that would be here, right?
If they
lose and have
tonight,
to play
they would play
winner of
7, 8, and Friday. And then the first round, if they win that game, the first round would be against Boston on Sunday. Whereas if they win tonight,
that game on Friday would be here.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas if they win tonight, then the first game will be in New York on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Chris B said the power of chicken nuggets. Whatever works, Chris. Whatever works. Bree, not ready to eat? Not ready to eat yet? You making it seem like it's just ours. It's yours too.
You got some chicken wings here too. If you
got
want.
some wings.
There you go. Wings pizza.
Let's get the pizza. Got our assistant here.
What's up, guys?
You want the napkins?
Where'd you get that? I was looking for that.
I brought them in here.
Oh man, I was looking. I couldn't find them.
So I brought them in here. Bree had them in there for us. Once we, yeah. You just weren't going to catch it?
A super producer, not a super quarterback. That's fine.
But I caught it the first time.
No, honestly, it wasn't anything wrong with the throw. It just doesn't fly right. I know the reason I didn't reach across like that, I was worried about hitting the beer and knocking it over.
Need this run to extend. They cut it to 6. 5-0 run here. 6 minutes, and you have your big guy on the floor right now playing with 4 fouls. So their defense.
And again, in the first quarter, he came out about the 4-minute mark.
Yeah.
So he's probably only got another 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how it goes.
Right. Now, the defense is extending for the Sixers, where Bam is bringing the ball up, and Kelly Oubre is hounding him, and you get a 5. That was an 8-second count.
Sorry, I was too busy eating my chicken wing. I didn't
6
see
right
it.
there, and he traveled on top of that. Wow. Wow. 8-second count. They don't call it, and he travels. Now you get the ball back, and B hits Buddy Hield. He's got to make this, doesn't he? Yes. 8-0 run. This is what we talked about. You need a run. Now they're 9-0 run here. I said 8. It was 9-0 run. And the Sixers have now extended their defense. Oubre is on. Oubre is the main defender for Bam Adebayo. Embiid was on Jimmy Butler. Miami misses again. Give the ball up. Let the ball swing. That's how it has worked here. Buddy Hield, this is what you bring him here for. That would have brought the house down had he made that one. Good shot from Bam Adebayo there.
It's a good shot, but if he wants to back down Joel Embiid in the post, you're open to that all day.
I thought he was going to keep going. You got 4 fouls.
That's true. That's a good point.
There you go, Tyrese. There you go. Now, look, all of this is happening. Tyrese, that was the first thing he's done. When we talk about him being a closer, and yesterday our show was featured around him to start, wondering if this was his moment because of his playoff games in the past where he's played really well? You need him to take over down the stretch and make it. You can't keep leaving him, though. He's going to miss. He misses one. You can't keep leaving him. You got to play it. I understand you have 4 fouls, but you can't give up.
He's got to get.
Yeah, well, you said the 4-minute mark, and nobody's at the scores table. Come on, Nick, you got to put.
That wasn't even like he didn't want to leave the paint because he wanted to be in rebounding position. Like he just didn't close out.
But how much energy does he have on the offensive end? That's my question. Nick Batum with that weird shot.
At least they're getting the ball to the corner now.
No, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying
he
makes it. That's a weird shot. Paul Reed, all right, now he's at the scores table. They recognize. But you had a 9-3 thing going there and 9-2 now because of Bam's shot. Wow, what was that?
I think he thought he was getting fouled.
Jeez. All right, how many fouls do they have now? Crumble cookie on the bench.
Good. No, the wings are good. I'm trying to not eat too many of them because it's hard to eat a wing elegantly on air, but
There you go. Close this quarter out right. Grabbed his wrist. It's all right, Nick Nurse. He grabbed his wrist. It was what it was.
yeah, it was a foul.
His hand got hit here.
His head got hit.
Mm. Highsmith did get him. Yep. It's an and one.
That's not even close.
Did he pull? Well, either way, because it looked like he pulled his head back.
Yeah,
a little bit, but it's a foul. He got hit.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's absolutely foul.
All right, folks. I said I wanted this one under 5 going into the fourth quarter. That can't happen. See, another offensive rebound now. Can't happen though, Derek.
No, it can't. That's just focus. Like an offensive rebound off of a free throw is focus.
All right, Embiid's on the bench. This is where we get the Maxey piece.
He's on the floor.
He has to do something with it on the floor. Even if he's creating for others, that snap pass to the corner, he's got to do something with this moment. There you go. Driving, creating pressure, and Embiid back in the game.
What's going on? It's like a delay game bullshit. Like what's?
Did they give him a tech though? Is that their second?
Come on, man. There's no delay of
That was
games
not
in the playoffs.
Nah, come on, man.
This
Look at
Mickey
this.
Mouse
Look.
bullshit.
That's not a delayed game.
He threw it right to the
He threw it
ref.
to the official.
Look, I don't know the letter of the law on what constitutes a
That's
delay of
not a
game.
delayed game.
You've got to have a little bit of perspective there. He's not doing anything to delay the game.
No foul. I know you're extending and being aggressive, but you can't foul that far away from the basket. Wow.
Delay of game because he threw it to the refs. Get out of here.
Good shot by Highsmith.
You've got legacies being written with playoff performances. You're calling delay of game. What the fuck? Excuse me. Pardon my French.
Is Nick Batum going to win this basketball game and send them to the
practically
7th
lost
seed?
it in the first half. So yeah, it's good that he showed up. But no, this is the Nick Batum I expected to come out and bust his own. Delay of game.
That was bad. It should be 67, 66
Because
right now.
we all tuned in
That's
and went
bad.
to the arena to watch him call a fucking delay of game because it took him 2 extra seconds to throw the ball to the ref. I don't even like complaining about refs, but that's preposterous.
Mr. Newbeck, check in. Let us know. 'Cause
There's a Gish in the chat is mentioning that JJ said, you know what delayed the game? The call. Yes, that call delayed the game way more. Get out. This
call.
isn't about you, refs. Stop it.
Back off.
Stop it.
Look who's
Appreciate
in the game.
JJ,
Campaign, baby.
a friend of the podcast, JJ, who's been on, not this show, the predecessor of this show. Appreciate you.
I was watching football with JJ during the regular season.
Okay. I like you. I know that he's become a little bit divisive in Philly. I kind of get why, but I don't agree with that at all.
And B's rushing. He's trying to. What are you doing? Bad turnover on the other end. You give up that 3.
Yeah, I mean, Max has kind of turned it around here in the third quarter. And Batum's turned it around in a big way. Those are the 3 people we complain about the most in the first half. You need Joe to follow suit. There we go. Campaign, just like we said.
Just like we called it.
How many turnovers have they have at half? 10?
10.
So they've only had 3 here in the third quarter. It's much better. 3 turnovers and 30 points.
Damn. All right, it's 5.
Between that 3 at the end there and the foul on Kelly and 1.5 left in the first. Those are just points you can't give them. 5 points just handed to them.
Got this for a second.
Sure.
I'm going to run away and throw this in the trash.
I'll sit here and be quiet for the audience. Yeah, I got it.
Chill, everybody.
Yeah. All right, what do we got here? Eight for 20 from 3. 8 for 27 from 3. Only 11 free throw attempts and 13 turnovers. It is a gosh darn miracle. It is only a 5-point game. They did. It seemed like Miami didn't go to quite as much zone there in the third, but when they did, I thought the Sixers moved the ball well. They got good shots. Nico was doing what he needed to do. Much, much better. Much better effort. We'll see what they can get at Tobias. Down the stretch, I don't know exactly how many she played there in the fourth quarter when he came out. Someone in the chat, let me know when Tobias came out of that game there in the third quarter. Felt like his sit was a little longer than typical, but yeah. See, Devon's out. This is when I usually do most of my note taking. Hurry back, buddy. Where the hell? Oh. I love Philly fans, man. One bad half, and there's a whole bunch of trade Embiid and do a rebuild in the chat. Come on, guys. Chill out just a little bit. Choose a little bit of chill, not only in your beverage consumption, but also in your takes. This is why we can't have nice things. In all honesty, and I've said this before on the show, one thing I think is great about the playoffs is you have a chance to completely rewrite the narrative. We saw it with Dirk in the past. We saw it with other teams. Even at one point, Golden State, there was a narrative that they couldn't win in the playoffs with how much they shoot. There's obviously the narrative out there that Joel Embiid cannot win in the playoffs, that he will never win in the playoffs. The great thing about this time of year is you have a chance to completely prove everybody wrong and rewrite that narrative, and it is all on your shoulders. He obviously does not look good here in this game. He looks rusty. He looks like he's not elevating as much. He looks like he's not in a shape that you need him to be. We saw when he came back from the injury initially, that all came back pretty quickly. If they're able to pull this out, have a 7-game series against New York, have a chance, and by that time, by the end of the series, he might be in a completely different spot. So just calm down a little bit. Let's see what happens. You missed the debate. Everyone's trying to trade Joel now in the chat. Because, you know, that's what happens every time he struggles.
Settle down, everybody. Who scored right there?
I don't know. I was
Harris?
arguing with people in the chat. I missed it.
Was it Tobias? Oh, Kelly. How about Joel is still in the game with these 4 fouls?
Yeah. Joe's pretty good. When he gets in foul trouble, he can usually navigate that pretty effectively.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my big complaints with Doc, because Doc was always an automatic, 3 fouls in the first half, you're out. When Joe could defend without fouling. It might not be peak Joe defense, but he could usually get through that.
Right. Now, you see the thank you everybody saying Oubre. I appreciate it. Even though Bree did also share. Now you see the difference though with Campaign doing now. Buddy is playing much better now, but you see how Campaign was going off of that pick on that dribble handoff, using that speed. I know you agree with me.
You don't have to sell me on Cam's offense. Especially against the zone. The movement, the shooting,
exactly.
Even the off-ball movement, not just what he does on ball.
Sure.
It's just the defense. That's my thing with Cam. I always just worry about the defense, especially against a team like Miami, where Jimmy can draw a switch and pick on a shorter guy.
Right.
But considering how bad they were against the zone, we said this at half. I'm 100% on board with throwing Cam out there and seeing if that's something that can help get you unstuck.
My thing now, look, they played much better because they cut the gap, and when you can't let Haywood Highsmith do that to you. With all due respect, that wasn't nothing. Everybody wants to call. That was nothing. Why didn't he do that a little bit earlier and maybe give yourself, an opportunity a little sooner? That's all. It keeps happening.
There you got numbers.
You know he wasn't.
Oh, make a layup.
Just when we gave him credit for playing much better. All right, let's lock in here. Let's see what's happening. Because, by the way, Jimmy Butler's on the bench. Another offensive. You can't keep giving up these offensive rebounds. First of all, Buddy Hield's got to make that layup.
Yeah.
You got to make that layup. DeLon Wright and Kevin Love on the glass. Yes, Cam has provided some energy. Yes, Mark Jackson, he has. Buddy Hield's playing much better. You got to make that layup. How many offensive rebounds is Miami up to now? Let's see.
Too many.
Miami is up to.
It's like 11.
Yep. 15.
No, 15. Yeah.
15. Buddy Hield off the floor now. He was providing something there. Where's campaign also? All right. That was something, wasn't it?
Yeah. They're getting sloppy now.
No, he never turned it over. He just kept it high. That's not a travel. I mean, a carry. And he lost it.
Even still, I like that pressure from
Me
Kelly.
too. No. I was just saying that for the fans who wanted to call, that was not a call. Now, Tobias, if you're going to push it, do something. I'm sorry. All right, he's got Bam on him. Don't be overly aggressive.
Huge. Just you're
making
right,
the
though.
game easier.
You're like Batum playing like this is completely changing the game.
Yes.
And that's why the first half was so frustrating because the guys you thought you could count on were letting you down.
And look.
Ugh,
Damn it.
you can't.
On that tick, pat. He put his body into him.
Yeah, but you
on
gotta.
his hip,
You
on his
can't.
hip. You can't do that. But look, Joel not playing well. That's how it's been all game. Make the pass to create the other stuff. And that's what he's been doing these last few, except for that one possession, but overall. So come on, just play smart. And he's already tired, so don't overdo it. It looks like he's holding on to his leg. Look at that, Derek. Or is he just leaning on it? All right, Paul's coming in. Paul Reed's coming in. See him?
Yeah.
Could be fatigue.
Could be just, yeah.
Yeah.
Or even like just adjusting the brace or.
Yeah, he looks fine. He's not getting any extra attention over there. All right. By the way, again, everybody, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Our watch along, our second one, presented by Coors Light.
I'm sorry, the tighter this game gets and the more important the minutes get, probably the worse I get at this watch along thing. It is very unnatural.
I got you from here.
It's one thing to be on video, that's fine, but like I'm used to take note, rewind, and none of that is good video, so I'm doing my best, but that's why we got Devon, a true professional here.
This has been fun, hanging out with Derek and Bree and all of you. The game, we wish it was going a little bit better.
They did just enough in the third quarter to make us really, really tense.
Now, Miami's probably, I'm surprised they didn't challenge it, but if they would have challenged it, they might have gotten a foul called on them on that because it looked like it went off of Paul Reed, but even still, like Batum's not messing around with these guys. Derek.
I mean, he's a player of the game right now.
Oh, no question.
Not even close.
No question.
And again, he was awful in the first half.
Terrible.
18 points now on 9 shots.
Is he the leader? Is he leading in scoring?
Yeah. Yes. He's not only leading the Sixers, he's leading the game in scoring. Jimmy had 17 for the Heat.
Now, he doesn't ever look like he gets tired either. So at some point, he's probably going to have to come off the floor for a breather. Or you only get TV timeouts, buddy.
Oh, there you go.
But he's playing much better in the second half.
Yeah, and that pass was there. Like when Bam stepped up
the
there.
entire time it was
yeah.
there. Yep. So
that
good on
pass in the
him.
weak side corner has been there all night.
Good on him not settling for that longer three-point attempt. And as they close out, because he has made shots, that was available for him. Paul Reed playing good defense on Jimmy Butler. Look at that. Now Tyrese, mix himself in here now.
I just want to say, you guys probably can't see it. It's a disaster back here. I've got bottles of water and soda. We got wings on the floor.
Dirty
we'll clean it up later. That's
we
fine.
won't clean it up.
There's
We're
no
not
ants
nasty.
up here on the 7th floor. We're good.
We're not nasty. Another breakaway. Now, I thought that was the fault of the inbounder. Who was the inbounder? No. Looked like it was it Tobias? Because that was on Buddy Hield. Tobias was there. He should have passed it to Tobias there instead of forcing it to Nick Batum. All right.
Man, if they can win these non-Embiid minutes.
Well, he's
then
back.
again, I think they've won most of the non-Embiid minutes.
He was up at the table. He's coming back. They sat him down because there's going to be a timeout here soon.
So Embiid's a -2, and they're a +3 without him.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often in the playoffs.
I'm with you, though. That free throw, man, that might be the difference. That delay
It's
a game.
absurd. It's truly absurd.
That delay a game might. Jimmy Butler looks like something wrong with him again. He traveled, but no, he didn't because the ball was not in his hands. But he's hurting.
In a play, and Devon's out here calling for travels.
Well,
they're not calling that shit in the regular season.
I know.
They're definitely not calling it now.
Especially on a breakaway. You're not calling that. But nah. All right, folks.
Hang on to your butts.
What happened with the Phillies? Did they win?
I don't know.
Okay.
7-6.
Jeez. Bullpen, man. Bullpen. Because Sanchez got the start. So typically, Thompson gives him about 5. He's on a pitch count, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Man. All right, Derek. Last, how many minutes? 5?
6.
Last 6 minutes.
6:06, 1-point game.
12 3-pointers for Miami. The Sixers have now caught up. They have 11 on 31 attempts. 35%. They're 32 for 74. They've increased their shooting percentage from mid-30s at the half to now 43%. To Miami's 39%. Free throws.
Only 5 second-half turnovers. Now, again, it feels like every one of them has been a pick 6, but it's better than the 10 in the first half, at least.
Free throws also 11 for 13. Embiid still leading that category, 6 for 7. Maxey with 15 on 15 shots. He's only made 1 3-pointer. He's got to get going in this final 6 minutes. He has to get in that 20-point number, in my opinion, because Nick Batum is done with everything to pick up their slack.
Yeah.
Now it's up to Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. And for Embiid, it doesn't have to be the scoring simply because the way the double team is coming to him, he has to pass the basketball and find the open man. He's rebounding the ball. He has 13. He does have 5 assists. He only has 3 turnovers, which he had, 2 in the first half? Or 3 in that first half?
Yeah.
So here, now he has to, again, be much better down the stretch. If he's not scoring, he can't let it get in his mind that I have to win the game this way. I can also win the game by making that extra pass.
Yeah. We have Daryl Morey's Yams in the chat with the most real comment of the night. I love Daryl Morey, and I've never doubted anything he's done as long as they win this game. That is Philly. That is this chat. That is 100% true.
Because there were a lot of people in there saying already in the first half, fire Daryl Morey. This is all Daryl Morey's fault. So, yes.
Braden with a question. Who closes out the game?
Oubre.
Even with how poorly he shot. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just...
Oubre, Maxey, Embiid, Batum. And depending on Hield and and Harris. I'll make that call later.
Yeah. I think we're probably right, but Oubre in instead of Harris, instead of Oubre in over Batum, like the starting lineup.
Okay. Again, make the pass. Look, Buddy Hield is open. You got to make that pass. Oof. I didn't expect that one to go.
Fifth air ball.
He was too far.
It's number 5.
Yeah, he was too far. Can't leave Tyler Hero open like that, though. And another
I was just going to say they really
rebound.
lucked out, but then they gave up the offensive rebound. So
good screen by Bam Adebayo to keep Embiid away from recovering to get back into the
Embiid
paint.
does not agree with your assessment that it was at least that it was a legal screen.
Yes.
Got to get those boards, man.
Have to. What's that now?
Killing them.
We said they were up to 16, 17. Yeah, you could tell that was off coming out of his hands.
They'll get the 90.
They will get the 90.
It was in question
They
for a little
should. With 5 minutes to go, they should get the 90. Another offensive rebound.
There really is not, like, outside of Embiid, and when Embiid has to challenge a shot, there's not another good rebounder on the floor. Tobias
Harris
sometimes
yes.
sometimes.
And he does have like 9.
But you
5
don't
of them to
count on him
himself.
to go up there strong for that board.
Yeah.
And when you're surrounded by, but oh my God, what is with the shooting?
That was a bad one. That was an airball brick.
I know we're sponsored by Coors Light. I'm not sure if there's enough chill in this building right now.
Maxey said, I'm getting this rebound. This is where Ricky comes into play to get a rebound.
Does Coors do any late night deliveries?
Look at Oubre, man.
Asking for a friend.
I mean, Batum. They do. Actually, late night deliveries, you can go to Choose Chill and
There you
Coors
go.
Light, and you can go and Instacart, and they will bring some.
Playoff Nico Batum, man.
Look at that.
Spent all that time talking about playoff Jimmy, none about playoff Nico Batum. Shame on us.
Folks in the chat, need to hear from you. 4 minutes to go. Sure, we'll get some timeouts here after that. Who's winning this basketball game? In the chat, let us know. You're watching with us. Who is winning this basketball game? 4 minutes to go. Sixers Heat right now. Sixers trail by 189-88. Who is winning this basketball game? Want to know? Let us know. Sixers win, says Vinny. Vince says the Sixers going to win. All right.
Now, see, for Vince, it's a perfect, like, if they win, great. He can say he was right. And if they lose, he can yell at Embiid. It's perfect for him. He's just setting this up. He's playing a long game. I know Vince.
Yeah. Martian Lynch says Sixers. Ray says Sixers. Presidential Mike says Cam is better than Buddy. Buddy has played well in the second half, though, Mike. Val says Sixers.
I appreciate the optimism.
Going off for history, Dom says the Heat. Gene says I need them to string 4 to 5 possessions together. Yeah, another run. James says the Sixers. Winona, Philly is winning this game. Mark says they'll win when Tobias goes to the bench.
I mean, I just said he wouldn't have been in my closing lineup.
Vaughn says Sixers. I agree with you.
Yes, if the Sixers lose, do they have to play Friday? Yes, unfortunately, they will frustrate you again.
Lil says Sixers by 2. Yish says Sixers lose. That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
They have to play Friday.
No
Go.
matter what happens, they will frustrate you at least one more time this year.
Jaime or Batum with the winning bucket. Seems like that's what's winning. Extra hustle play wins the game. Offensive rebounds, once again for the Miami Heat, currently at 17. 17 offensive rebounds for the Miami Heat.
Look, we are really lucky that we get to cover NBA basketball. But did you ever wonder what would happen if like you had a normal team that you were assigned to? just once. Just once.
Chicago and Atlanta already pushed back to 9:48 from 9:30 because this game is going long. Nick Batum is saving their, you know what, man. He's the Coors Light player of the game if they win this one. 17 in the second half of Nick Batum? I think I just heard JJ say.
Yeah, I don't think he did shit in the first half, so that sounds about right.
When you choose to ride above it all, folks, choose chill. Choose Coors Light. And if you need it fast in these final 4 minutes, Coors Light delivers straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/PHLY basketball. Kyle Lowry back in the game. So right now it's Batum, Maxey,
The one we talked about.
Embiid, Oubre, and Lowry as the closing, it looks like, lineup. Oh, he cannot make this shot. He's capable.
Oh, I thought they were getting
If that was
rebound.
Maxey, he was already scoring because he would have been by him. He would have been by Highsmith. But good on Kyle Lowry to get that board.
Yeah, but if it was Maxey, I'm not sure he comes down with that floorboard.
That doesn't count. Nick Batum, 6 for 10 on the night from 3. The rest of the team, 5 for 24. Wow. Turn back the clock. Nick Batum, Portland days, man. They look like they don't know what they want to run.
No.
Another
Lowry long two is not what you're drawing up.
Yeah, again, that's taking too
That's
long.
not what you're there for.
Ooh, Jaime had Tyrese going side to side there a little bit. Little buckle. All right, Bree, I need an answer. You're normally good with this stuff. In these close games.
You're the positive one. You're the optimistic one. Come on, Bree. That's not a prediction.
Tyler Hero's played pretty well.
Oh my God.
They normally do that. Why was Tyrese not ready for that? No hero stuff here.
I mean, unless you can draw a foul. In which case.
Mm-hmm. Jaime's confused.
So a lot of people complaining about Lowry being in the closing lineup. Would you go anywhere else?
My only other option would have been Buddy Hield because he has played well and will, of course, take those 3-pointers and has taken those 3-pointers. But defensively, that's the problem.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, this is your best option to close it out defensively.
Cam played his minutes. He provided a spark. You got that from him. Tobias Harris, no.
Just no.
Just no. Yeah.
Which is a shame because in theory,
Kyle Lowry, that's why he's
testing.
He did that.
All right. I think that was on me, but I'm going to blame Tyler anyway.
Don't give him ideas.
I'm hating right now.
You don't need to call it out. Come on now.
Let's play Gregory Soto.
Kyle Lowry to the chat.
My heart.
That's why he's in the game.
That was much closer than it needed to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, played well, man.
That free throw is really pissing me off right now.
2 minutes.
Said it. Might be the difference. 2 minutes to go.
It really is. I mean, look at this rotation now. Wheeler, Nola, Ranger, Sanchez. You got Taiwan Walker coming back at some point, and Turnbull has looked pretty good. I mean,
who is that hustle?
Teams would kill for this. I mean, they're going to frustrate us at times.
Who else crashed?
Just like anybody else, but
yeah.
I mean, they're set up. That's that's what really, I think, separates them from some of these previous years where they were just squeaking in as a wild card.
Again.
You have a rotation that puts you in a place where you can go on extended runs. Hopefully, they're starting one right now.
We've been giving him a little bit of grief because
that's for
he doesn't look like he's had a lot of energy.
Sustained success through the course of the season. But I mean, to have these guys and not just be waiting for Wheeler and Nola to get back on the mound. I mean, it's a game changer.
A little sluggish for most of the game, and then dial it up defensively down the stretch. It is good to see that here. Oh, if they lose to Hayward Highsmith.
First of all, he can't be making floaters with a minute to play. Come on. Yeah, that last few stretches, Dev, they have not gotten a stop. They need to get a stop outside of Kyle Lowry getting that tip away. So he's got to stop hunting and just lay the ball up. Let the foul happen. Watch. Again. Look at this replay. Gather yourself and lay it up.
Oh.
Did he step over? I mean, they're not really arguing it, but sure did.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Wow, that's huge.
Clearly you need a bucket here, but you need a bucket here. I don't want overtime.
Thank you, Devon. I'm sure nobody in the chat realizes that you need a bucket.
Bree, we don't want overtime, Bree.
Oh,
good pass.
Good pass, good finish.
Good recognition, huge. Good pass.
And it's late enough. We're getting an easy 2-for-1 isn't going to be easy for Toronto. Like a high value 2-for-1.
I like how he pivoted. Instead of forcing across his body, he turned. Instead of throwing it like he does there, he turned and allowed himself to see and making that pass. And that was on Jimmy Butler. Good pass. Now make a free throw. All right, Derek, 36 seconds. How does this go? If you're Miami, what are you trying to do if you're Miami? Clearly get the ball in Tyler Hero's hands.
Yeah, I mean,
but are you going 2 or just get a 2 if you can get a 2, but if you can get it, obviously if you can get a 3, you take it.
No, I think right now with there's enough time for a 2-for-1. I think you take what you can get and then try to get the ball back.
Mm-hmm. Plus, the way the Sixers defend a little bit, you might get a foul call and get to the free throw line. Folks, question again. Who's winning? Say it in the chat. 36 seconds to go. We're in a timeout. I need to hear it. Derek and I need to hear it.
I have a feeling this update might be a little more positive than the last time he asked this question.
CJ Jones, I will accept no Oubre slander.
Look, again, I think we do a fair job of pointing out when he plays well and pointing out when he makes mistakes. And again, you might think, our preseason evaluation was wrong. But again, pretty much every GM agreed with us. That's why he was on a minimum contract. And Zach Lowe, I heard Zach Lowe this week say he is now capable of playing on a winning basketball team. That wasn't the case in the past. And that's one of the best in the business, one of the most connected in the business. And I don't say that to absolve myself because, look, I will be wrong all the time. My goal in evaluating basketball isn't to be right. And I'll say that again in case you misheard me. It's not to be right because you know what? I'm going to be wrong all the time. It's one thing I learned while covering the draft. That's how I sort of came up in this business. My goal is to be thorough and to be fair and to have the emotions that I express be honest and true. I think you have to give Kelly Oubre credit for playing much better basketball and being a much more decisive and willing passer. And I'm going to shut up now because the end of the game's coming on.
That's why he might have been the X factor for some people. Not just us.
Can swing a game, absolutely.
Not just us.
Can swing a series. All right. Not nervous at all. They got this.
Highsmith in the game. You said don't lose to Haywood Highsmith.
Can't lose that Oh, man. Really, player of the game, and it's not even close. It's
Nick
not even
Batum?
close.
Now, let's say they make these 2 free throws, because I want to ask this, but I want to ask, are they in the bonus? Derek, I wanted to ask this. He was speaking yesterday. He said this is a game 7 when we were at practice. Can we tell people how chill he was?
Yeah, he says game 7, but he's in the most calm, quiet voice you've ever heard. You can't even hear it in person because they're 10 feet away or 5 feet away from him. You have to go back and listen to the microphone that you left on the table.
Right.
Yeah. I respect soft talkers.
Because when Tyrese came up,
I
you could
hate
hear
soft
him.
talkers because I can't hear what you're saying in real time. I have to go back and listen to it.
When Tyrese came up, you can hear him.
Yeah.
When
he projects,
when Nick Nurse came up, you can hear him. When Nick Batum was there,
he has a very quiet voice. Yep.
I'm leaning over and I'm like, say it again, Nick. I can't really hear you. Let him go, guys.
Make the inbounds pass, please.
And this is why you have Kyle Lowry also in the game. That's the most emotion I've seen Nick Batum show all season long. I mean, he's been here since November.
The other time I saw that kind of
November
emotion,
or October when the trade happened. Either way, he's been here that long.
I shouldn't care, but now it's going through.
No. I'll come back to that later.
The only other time I really
he's going to be the focus of our post game.
The only time I really saw him show that kind of emotion was in the locker room after that Clippers game when he was really pissed off about the foul calls at the end. Very different emotion this time. Look, just incredible. Just an incredible run. The threes to bust open Miami zone, that huge block towards the end, a lot of the passing at the end. He has been just a complete turnaround from the first half. They don't win this game if he plays like he did in the first half.
Not your favorite, but a funny one in the chat. Money Mar. Viva la France.
Didn't see it. Did he say something? I haven't seen money in weeks.
Cash or card, but Viva la France.
In all honesty, money, I'd go in and unmute you, but I forget how. So deal with it.
Yeah, Viva la France. France. How do you say that, Bree? Is it Viva la France or Viva la France when you say it that way? What sounds better? Viva la France. All right. By the way, Joel going to Paris, play in Paris for the Olympics.
Officially on the 12-man roster.
Yes.
Would be a topic of the show if it weren't a play-in game.
Correct.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow if they win this basketball game. Inbound the ball, as you said. Give it to the big man.
Oh, Jesus.
But that's why you have him.
Oh, God.
Oubre left early, it looks like it.
I guess we should probably set up the post-game show, huh?
Not yet. 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes in between there. People, make sure you come back post-game.
If anybody wants to let us know a title for the post-game show, drop it in the chat. I have no problem stealing your work.
Viva la France. We'll leave that one up to you. Viva la France. And of course, we don't want anything to be offensive, so we make sure that's not offensive. But
well, how would that be?
It wouldn't be. I'm just saying. Joel has 23. Damn.
Free throws.
I didn't realize that.
10 free throw attempts.
Boy, they need the rest too. You know, they need Thursday, Friday off to play Saturday. They can't be playing on Friday and then going back and playing on Sunday. They need this rest. Bree, do they win this game? All right. My mom texted me at halftime, by the way, and said, I'm not worried. I'm confident they will find a way. So she's with you, Bree. No Tobias in the game either.
It's an inbounds pass. Can you imagine what he would do with an inbounds pass? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Pure chaos until it worked. All right, good.
And I'm glad he went for a shot, too, because there was an opportunity for it and one. Nice bounce pass. Got Shady McCoy sitting courtside there. Thank you, Val. Val loves my mom. Thank you, Val. I love her too.
Every interaction with Devon's mom I've had has been great.
She's the best.
I've never met her, but I've had zero bad interactions with her. To be fair, most of my favorite people are people I haven't met.
Interesting. Interesting. No, one time out left for Miami. Is Jimmy on the bench? Jimmy's on the bench. He's been on the bench, but I wasn't sure if that knee must have been really bothering him. Of course he makes it. No timeouts for the Sixers either. Got to throw it. Just make one, Tyrese. That's all. These can get a little tricky, so just make one. Gene says, get Mama Givens on the recruitment. She's not getting involved in that stuff. His dad did text me at halftime talking about the zone. Oh, man, the range of emotions for this game, huh, Bree? Crazy. Range of emotions for this one has been nuts. So, folks, while we'll be here for a minute or two, when this one ends, win or loss, looks like it may be a win here. Come back. I said they would win by 5, by the way. That was my number. Stick around with us. We'll turn it around pretty quickly and get back to you for our post game. We'll have Kyle Neubeck joining us.
Yeah.
It is a playoff game, so things might take a little bit longer for Kyle to get here. So, Derek, we might be going a little bit long in terms of time tonight because Kyle, playoff post-game press conferences and all that. We have never dealt with the play-in, so we don't know. It's normally first round, second round.
Yeah.
But I'd imagine, I did see guys like last night, I saw guys at the podium after the game, Willie Green, Draymond Green. But I couldn't tell if it was a different way of doing things versus the regular playoff series.
I don't think so, but
okay. So
I would assume it'll take Kyle a while because Joe always takes a while.
He's going to, yeah. The chicken changed everything. You're not lying. That's when they went on that 9-0 run. It started it off. Was that Caleb Martin? I think it was Caleb Martin that missed those free throws. And Kyle's not happy. Oh, man. You see that, Bree? Kyle's not happy. Get an old one. Can you get an old one? I don't even know where you would get it from, but yeah, we will be back after the game. We gotta ask Kyle too about Jimmy. What happened? Was it the knee? Off-ball foul? Wow.
What did Batum have it?
20?
No, at halftime.
Let me look it up.
I'll pull it up.
I'll look it up. You do your thing. Keep going. You can jump in on that one. Wow. Trying to make this game interesting, are they? He had 12 after 3. And let me go to the game book. And first half, he had 3. Three-tenths of a second.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I was trying to type a headline for the show and disaster almost hit.
Oh my goodness. They have to check that. Oh, 3/10 of a second. It's enough. You can't. There's nothing you can do there. Wow. Were they just trying to make it even more difficult here, folks. Because I know the game is over, but I want to see it again. Even though when you touch the ball 0.3 of a second, that's it. All right. Let's see
So
it
is
again.
the Knicks on Saturday.
Knicks on Saturday. But you need to watch this. Look at this. Look at this. Right there.
Oh, my God.
Look.
Oh, my God.
0.3 of a second.
Well, to be fair, last year the Knicks or the Heat lost the 7-8 game and went on to the finals.
That they did. Sixers Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals again.
Well, and that's exactly why this is not a playoff game. Because if the team loses the playoff game, they can't play him again.
They can't play him again. I think
Shout
we just
out
broke
to
the
Provolone
code.
John.
Provolone John, I think we just broke the code there. Man, they made us sweat on that one. Huh. All right, folks. The Knicks it is. They had to earn that one. All right, everybody. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Derek, you want to sign off with us? You want me to sign off?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's sign off. Everybody. Dan says, we're winning the chip. Well, you won the play-in chip, so you can move into the 7. But I don't know about the chip. All right, folks. Thanks, everybody, for hanging in there for the pregame and live here during the watch-along, presented by the great folks from Coors Light. Again, with Coors Light, you make sure that when the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. And sometimes, from the day-to-day annoyances, you have your issues, like quarter-to-quarter or possession-to-a-possession annoyances. And it's easy to get worked up like we did, but there's a better way, a chiller way. And that's to turn your team's frustrations into some positive energy to turn things around like the veteran forward did for Philadelphia to score 20 in the second half and become really the player of the game to help lead this team to a win. So again, when it's time to chill, open the Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. When you choose to rise above it all, choose chill, choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/PHLY basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. So as you have your celebratory Coors Light, put your feet up, turn us on, because we're going to come back in about 5 to 10 minutes and get our post-game show underway as we discuss the 76ers 105-104 victory over the Miami Heat. They now are the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs and will take on the New York Knicks on Saturday in New York, 6 o'clock start time. We'll talk about it when we get back. For Derek and Bree and for all of you, we really appreciate it. Come back with us. You might as well stay around. What else are you going to do tonight?
What else are you going to do?
You've been spending all this time with us anyway. Your significant other is already like, you might as well
You're
watch
already on the way to divorce.
Exactly. Just enjoy it. So come back with us. We really appreciate it. This has been a blast. This is Watch Along. We couldn't have done it without you, and we can't do the post-game show without you. Coming up here shortly.